You are listening to the Slowly Dying Podcast with Becca.
Check yourself. Check. Week after I cried at the bowling alley.
And Bronte.
Oh my God, what have I done?
What do you mean? I haven't heard from you in months. We talk about everything and anything.
I could tell she was frustrated just by how she was throwing the...
I'm the only one who does it the best.
And turn in every Monday for a brand new episode.
I did not know though.
What? Like, you were freaking out.
Let's get it popping.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Bronte. Me and Becca are doing a joint rant, but separately this week again, like we did last week. And I apologize for how I sound. I am really sick, and I wanted to hop on here while I had my voice. I'm not sure what this is. I'm hoping it's just a really bad cold, but unfortunately, I have all the outliers of the new COVID strain symptoms. I just got tested this morning and I'm waiting for my results and I'm hoping that I don't have it. But as of right now, I've been taken off duty as a nurse and I am just getting some much needed rest. So I apologize if it takes me a bit longer to get through this. But, you know, we got to keep the grind going, you know? And me and Becca hate missing a week of episodes. So her and I are going to do, again, a joint rant about just how basically the topic is expending your energy on friends. And her and I are going to take different takes on this because her and I have had different eye-opening experiences when you may be on a different path with friends, even your best friends. And sometimes how they act is very surprising to you. And sometimes you might be feeling that you're expending so much energy on them and they may not be giving it in return. And this runs with me deeply because I feel like lately and really over the past year, I have not fallen out with friends, but friends of mine that I still consider to be some of my dearest friends, we aren't as close anymore. And the main reason why that is because, I feel like for me, I'm so busy and I'm just on a different path in life. And so are they. And that doesn't mean that's anything bad. It's just sometimes that you get so lost in what you do. But at the same time, when the time comes, you hope that they give you back the same energy that, you are giving them. I still like to text here and there. We don't have to see each other every day, but I want to make sure that I'm still thinking about them. I want to let them know that I'm still thinking about them. And I would hope that they would do the same for me. And, my closest friends, you know who you are. We don't have to spend every day with each other. And I know those true friends don't send me angry messages just because I haven't seen them in a while. I know once we see each other again in person, it's right where we left off and, we all support each other. But there are some friends that I still consider friends, but they really have surprised me with their actions. And sometimes I feel like they think so selfishly, I feel like they don't take into account everything that I have done for them as a friend. And when they perceive something that is totally false, they get into their heads and they think that I'm being a really bad friend. And that's not the case. For example, my one friend was having a baby shower and I'll be there. If I can be there, I'll be there. And she messaged me. She said, hey, I would really love it if you could be at my baby shower. And of course, I want to be there. That's a big thing. Absolutely 100%. And she's like, this is a Thursday. And she says it's this upcoming weekend. So literally 2 days. And I told her I couldn't go. I have work. And she just perceived that as I don't care, when really why was I the afterthought? Why you had this plan at least a month or two in advance. Why was I the afterthought of that? But she perceived it as, oh, Bronte just, is too busy for me. And I think that's so ridiculous. And I don't want to be friends with someone who thinks of me as an afterthought. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand why she had that notion of like thinking like, oh, she's too busy for me. And then another friend like thought, she messaged me out of the blue saying like, I can't believe you haven't met my daughter. And her daughter's 2 now. And I want to meet my friend's kids, but you also have not reached out to me. Like don't ever think that I don't ever want to meet your child. Your child didn't do anything to me. It's just stuff like that I feel like it gets very tiring, even when it comes down to little things. Like I asked friends like, hey, how are you? And they say like, good. And they don't ask me, how are you back? And I feel like that is the simplest thing anyone can do is just ask, how are you back? Because in my eyes, that goes so far because it just shows that you care. We don't have to talk every day, but even just a text or a call asking like, hey, how have you been? Like, what have you been up to? Means so much. Like so with some of my closest friends, I'll FaceTime randomly if I have a moment in time and they may be busy and they'll send me a message saying like, hey, sorry, I'm caught up with something. And, I'll just message them back like saying like, yeah, no worries. I just had a moment and I just wanted to catch up with you. Those are the little things that you can do, and it goes so far. So, I don't know if it's like one of those things like, getting older, you just realize this about friends. And I feel like it is. You do realize a lot about your friends and who matters. But it does suck in a way because like you love your friends and you have a relationship with them. But at the end of the day, who do you want to spend your energy on, Who do you want to give all your might to? And I've saved so much energy in the last year or two on friends. Like I just had like this revelation, like, okay, like I'll love some of my friends still, but I'll love them from a distance and I will keep my energy preserved for those that I know will go the extra mile for me because they want to. And I'm not saying that the other friends don't. I just feel like I'm an afterthought and I never want to be that. Of course, if they message me and, if it's an emergency or they need someone to talk to, I'm always going to be there. But I may not expend that energy. And I think it's funny when they think something's wrong when they message me like, hey, Bronte, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Why do you think that? And they're like, well, you haven't talked to me. And I'm like, well, I'm always here. It's just when you think it's convenient for you to have me as a friend whenever you need me, then you message me. It should be, it literally should be constant. It shouldn't be whenever you feel like you need me. But I should be that thought, I'm that friend for you. And I should matter that to be checked in on, And I know people have busy lives. I get that. We all do. And I'm not saying this to be a horrible person, but it goes so far to just check in hey, what's going on? How are you? And to keep, your word on things and to just keep in mind your friends' feelings. Don't waste their time. Don't waste their energy. And just be open and honest with your friends. Even when you think you're being a crappy friend, just be hey, I am so sorry. I've just been in my own world and it's not fair on you and I'm sorry. That goes so far. Don't just assume that your friend will understand, because their energy is really important, and how their patience people's patience depend, like, not everyone's patience the same, you know? I know you have that history, but sometimes it can only be pushed so far. So, you know, just keep in mind of that. Keep in mind that everyone has different wants and needs. Don't just assume that they'll be there forever, because the distance and wedge in between you will grow. And I always have to believe that the love will still be there, but you have to keep in mind, you know, like their feelings. Don't just assume, you know? So, I mean, I have more stories on that, but literally I think my voice at this very moment is going to crack, if you can't already tell. But those are just you know, my few minutes of ranting there. So I think I'm going to turn it over to Becca now. And please wish and pray that this isn't COVID, guys. But I am happy if you've gotten to this point that you've tuned in. And again, thank you so much for your support. Becca and I found out that our most recent episode has gotten the most downloads in, you know, since our past episodes in the past like year. So, you know, I feel like this is reaching more people. So thank you so much. But as always, guys, please keep safe, keep happy. And I'm going to turn this over to Becca, and I'm going to go lie down. So, Becca, it's your turn now. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Bronte, for getting it poppin'. I hope you feel better, and I hope you don't have COVID, because that would suck. But if you do, I hope you feel better. And it's time for me to get it poppin' on this topic. I brought this up to Bronte multiple times in the last couple of months. It's something that has been weighing on my mind, and it's kind of pissing me off. And it doesn't matter if it's like with people you work with your friends, with your relationships, with your family. It doesn't matter. Like, honestly, really, with your kids, like, it really does not matter. This is not towards a specific person or a specific, you know, just my family or just my friends or this and that. You know what I mean? There is no pointing fingers here. But I mean, if the shoe fits, go ahead and wear that, sweetheart. But anyway, Rosie, stop barking. Sorry, guys, that's my dog. But I just wanted to tell you kind of what I've been feeling is I've been feeling kind of frustrated. I feel like I do a lot for people. That's just my personality. I know I come off as like very open and like talking and, you know, everything else. But I mean, I have feelings, you know, everyone has feelings, but I think I do a lot more for people than I get in return. And that's okay, because that's just like who I am as a person. But I think when it starts to affect you, it's like, okay, hold on, like this is a stop sign. We need to figure out what's going on here. Like, you know, I have friends, which I still consider them friends. You know, I used to talk to this girl like all the time, like every day we'd be on the phone, and like, we don't talk no more because I feel like every time I reach out to hang out or I reach out to call or, you know, X, Y, and Z, I get nothing in return. And it's been like 2 years since it's been like this, and you just give up. Like you can't control people. You can't change their mind. You can't be like, what's wrong with me? Why don't you want to hang out with me? You know what I mean? But then you get messages, oh, I miss you so much. Apparently, you know, people go through personal problems, and this is what I have to realize. It's not always about you. Maybe they're going through personal problems, and at that moment in their life, they don't want to be bothered, which is fine. But then don't expect me to jump to your problems when you really need me. Because, like, that's what I feel like. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm very loyal. If you need me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to come get you. If you need money, I'm going to give you money. You know, especially like my close friends. You know, I'm not just going to give anybody money. But I'm just like that type of loyal person, and people know that about me. You know, like I will legit rearrange my schedule to try to fit something in somebody else's schedule. And sometimes that's not like very healthy. So, you know, especially if I don't get that in return. So, you know, I wish that friend the best, but at this point in life, like it's not my problem. I've reached out. I've done what I had to do for years and years and years. And it's like, there's no improvement. So now I have to leave you alone. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to stop asking. Like if people, Like, if people don't understand, like, why you have to leave them alone because you've tried so long and so hard and you put so much energy and you're not getting that back, then that's not your problem. You have to let that go. And sometimes I have a problem letting things go. Also, like, like, for example, with like family, you know what I mean? Like, if they don't give the same energy back or, whatever, then give them the same energy back. You can only be nice for so long. Like, you can only be nice and kind until you get walked on over, and people view you as a liar, and people view you as crazy, and this and that, and this and that. And it's like, okay, so when I snap, you're going to be like, oh, wow, like, Beck is being crazy. Yeah, you pushed me to that. So don't be surprised when I snap back, because a lot of people don't think you'll snap back. But when you snap back, it's like, oh, wow, like, something's going on with Becca. But like I said, I mean, the title of this is Stop Telling People How to Treat You and Show Them. And I think that's very important. I get sometimes there's mistakes and people, might not realize they're hurting you. But listen, let's just listen to here. People know what they're doing to you. Okay? People are not dumb. People act dumb. There are two different things. People know when they're treating people like crap. Maybe not 100% all the time, because you'll be like, oh, I didn't realize I said that in a certain way. But I'm talking like, if people are really treating you like crap, they know exactly what they're doing. Stop giving people excuses. Okay, people need to grow up, because we live in a society where everybody's so sensitive and like everybody lies, and it's like cute to like be mean to other people. It's not like, no. But as you guys can see, I'm very passionate about this, and I've talked to Bronte I feel like all week about this. It's not cute. People know exactly what they're doing. Stop giving people excuses, and stop telling people how to treat you. If you are in a relationship, or have a friendship, or you have family members, if you have to tell them exactly how to treat you, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell people how to treat you. They know how to treat you. Okay? Not saying if you have a problem with somebody, talk about it. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you have to tell somebody not to lie to you, not to cheat on you, not to be a narcissist, not to say mean things to you, okay, then they know exactly what they're doing. And they're probably trying to get a reaction out of you. I've noticed, especially this in the last couple months, with people. Start showing people how to treat you. Okay? Like, if you have people who take 10 days to text you back, sweetheart, take 20. Okay? I'm not saying go ahead and be petty, but sometimes you have to be petty. You know what I mean? Like, if people are only calling you and texting you when it's convenient for them, then why do you have to rearrange your schedule and bend over backwards to be there for them? Don't. Stop. Because you're wasting a lot of energy and you're wasting a lot of time that can be focused on you. Not saying don't be there for people. That's not what I'm saying. Like, really honestly open up your ego and try to understand what I'm saying. I've had problems, for example, some person texted me a couple weeks ago and was said some very personal information to me. And I was like, okay, we need to talk about this face to face. And then 4 days later, I get a text back and I'm like, if it was really that important to you, you would not take 4 days to text somebody back. Okay, I get it. If you're at work, okay, trust me, when I'm a nurse and I have to work 12 hours, sometimes I can't text back until I'm on my 30-minute break. You know what I mean? Or if I pop into the bathroom. But 4 days, if you're taking 4 days to text somebody back about something very, very important that, could change your life, then it's really not that important to them. I mean, at this point in life, we have to be very honest, and somebody has got to be a bitch and say it. It's not that important to you. The things that are important are things that you take care of right away. So I just also wanted to say that. And it's very frustrating. And, kind of like what Bronte talked, it's very surprising how people act. And, you would think it would be not your friends. And sometimes it is your friends. And, sometimes I give more than my friends can give me. But then in the past, when I was dealing with my breakup, with my son's father, like they had to carry me through for a little while. You know, there is give and take in every relationship, but it comes to a point where if you're constantly giving and giving and giving and giving, and people are just constantly, you know, taking it all without giving something back, you're going to end up snapping and you're going to become very like angry. But at the end of the day, and this might sound harsh, there's nobody to blame but yourself if you honestly keep doing this to yourself. So like, these last couple months, I've really honestly, especially this last week, like I've changed some things, even with my friends. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't care if they're listening, like they know I get it popping. And I'm honest, like, you know, like if you don't call me back, I'm not gonna remind a grown ass woman or man to call me back. Like if you don't call me back, like I'm not gonna keep reminding you to call me back. Like I shouldn't have to remind somebody to be like, oh, by the way, like you have to call me, you know. But then when I don't reach out to them and I'm like, hey, like, how's your day going? Because they don't give that in return or something. And I'm not just saying my friends, like sometimes my friends talk about this from other people, you know what I mean? So like, this is not all about my friends. Some of my friends are excellent and I love my friends. I have like the best friends in the world. But sometimes I think like some people need a reality check. And like I said before on like my last rant, like I want to do a co-parenting thing. Like with like how I've handled like co-parenting and like communication with my son's father, because it's not always sunshine and roses, because it's absolutely not. We argue, we've gotten at each other's necks before, like, but I think like, you know, you got to realize like stop wasting your energy arguing with somebody that wants a reaction, because that's pretty much what a narcissist does. Like they know you're right. They just want you to argue because they like get a high off of it. But that's like for another conversation. But I think, you know, once you do some of these changes, that people will start to realize like, oh crap, like, you know, let's take Becca a little bit more seriously. Or like, hey, like Becca's not answering her phone call. It's been 5 minutes. Is she okay? And it's like, no, like I don't have to answer my phone. I can put my phone down. I don't have to be there 100% all the time for my friends whenever they need me. Like sometimes that you need to be there for yourself, you know, or your kids or, you know, your family. And I understand that. But kind of like Bronte says, like stop putting your energy in the things that are not getting your energy back. And don't always be available for people. And you'll start to realize like that's where you find peace. And even if you're in a relationship, and I know this is kind of random, like you don't always have to be with that somebody 24/7. You know what I mean? Like you can go and do your own thing, you know, like you don't have to be with them all the time. Like if they want to go have a girls' night or a guys' night, let them go, because when they come back, like time is more precious, because it's like, oh wow, like I haven't seen you in like 2 days. So like, you know, this day off that we have together is more special than if we just hung out like 20,000 days in a row. But anyway, I don't know how I got on that conversation. But yeah, I mean, start showing people how to treat you and toughen up and start focusing on yourself, you know, and like I said, you don't got to be mean and you don't even got to say anything. Like, if you just stop responding right away and like put your phone down and be like, you know what, like I'm sick of always calling you first. I'm always sick of like texting you, hey, how are you? Or like when you want it, when you can hang out, then that's when I'll hang out. No, like it should be like equal, you know? And if it's not equal, what are you doing? Like, why are you giving so much away? It's absolutely ridiculous. So so pretty much, let's sum this up. Stop telling people how to treat you. They know exactly what they're doing. People know exactly what they're doing. So stop giving people excuses and stop telling yourself that like you're crazy or like you're frustrated because they're not changing. And like, you know, it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. It's their personality. And start showing them, being like, you know, exactly like what you have to do, because everyone's different, you know. Some people might have family problems, you know. I got in a fight with my mom like a week and a half ago, because I've been telling her for the last 2 years, like, hey, this bothers me, you know, can we like try to fix it? And like, I didn't talk to her for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks, because I told her, I was like, I've told you over and over that this has bothered me. So I took a break. And then now maybe like she realizes that I'm serious. You know what I mean? Like, and I wasn't trying to be mean. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I love my mom to death and like she's the best person. But it's also like, it doesn't matter if you're like Willie, which is my 5-year-old son, my mom, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my dog. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, there has to be some type of give and take, and there has to be a mutual thing of respect. You know, also in reflection of this is you need to step back and be like, okay, so like maybe am I being mean? Am I being unrealistic? You know, like you can't expect your friend to call you 17 times in one day. If they do, cool, I don't care. But it's like people have lives, people are married, people have children, you know, people have other things going on in their life. That's not what I'm saying. They should not be there for you 110%. But also, like, if you haven't talked to your friend in almost 4 months and you call them your best friend, people make time for what they want in life. You know what I mean? Like, it takes 2 seconds to send a text and be like, good morning, hope you have a great day. Maybe we can meet up next month for like drinks or whatever. You know what I mean? So like kind of be realistic in that way. And sorry, I always have like little bullet points next to me because I always like go off on like tangents. But I think really just stepping back and letting people step up. You know, if you feel like you're getting walked on, step back, let people step up. And if they don't, close the door and keep moving. People know exactly what they're doing. So as you guys can see, I'm a little bit passionate about this. And I hope Bronte feels better. And it is Father's Day today. So I'm going to go eat some lunch with my dad and my family. And then I'm going to go pick up my son later. I missed him. So I'm excited to see him because he was with his dad this weekend. So that's good. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and it's beautiful out today. And I hope you guys start showing people how, you know what I mean, to treat yourself. So, all right, well, this is Becca, and I'm popping off, guys.